cute. Happy Christmas in July. These are
Love
making me so happy. Oh, I like how I don't even introduce myself or anything. I'm just like, Christmas in July. Merry Christmas, everyone.
It's a great way to introduce yourself.
Be like, yes, watching Hallmark Channel, Christmas movies. It's what we do.
Yeah.
But welcome to the Cozy Mystery Book Club. I am here with one of my favorite guests. He is just one of the he is a longtime member of the Cozy Mystery Book Club. He has guest hosted a number of times. I'm going to pull up your information because I actually made a little graphic for you because you were on TikTok in addition to Instagram.
It's true.
I didn't realize that at first. I know I'm following you now, but before I didn't know that. So Botany and Books across platforms, this amazing guy. So I'm going to introduce Ben. Hopefully I can do this right. Like this awesome man right there.
Thank you. Oh,
He
such
is
a warm welcome.
You are the permanent January guest host, by the way. If you guys didn't know that, like I adore him. When I say that, I truly mean it. He is so sweet. So, I'm just excited to chat about our A Wicked Yarn July discussion with him.
Me too.
He's so much fun. He's so sweet. And you just bring out all the cozy vibes. So I'm very happy that you're here tonight.
Oh, Angela, you're always so sweet. It's an honor to be here. I always have fun chatting with you. It's like, I can't believe we've known each other for so long. Like, all these
we've never
years.
actually met in person.
I know. One of these years.
Like,
but
someday.
I was counting back, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's been this long. It's like always catching up with a good friend, and I love it so much.
I didn't realize. So the book club has been in existence since January 2018. That was the very first YouTube live stream discussion. And so I got like this little message because I was updating some of the YouTube things, and it said I joined February 2016. I'm going, oh my gosh, we're coming up in the 10-year YouTube anniversary. I'm gonna have to, do something to celebrate, a live stream or giveaway or something. Because I didn't even realize. The time just flies when you're talking about cozy mysteries.
Yeah, next year, 10 years. Look at that. Oh.
And all the comments are pouring in. So I didn't say it this time, but I'm here in Massachusetts, New England. We have Arkansas, we have California, Colorado, New York. I love to see where everyone is. That's just so cool to see the sleuthing across the country, across the globe. Every so often we'll get the international sleuthers. So welcome wherever you're joining from. Welcome to the July A Wicked Yarn with this just adorable cover. And we were chatting a little bit before, but apparently Ben is a fan of this book. He really enjoyed it. And I just noticed I have a giant light going across my face. I'm going to close the blind. There we go. So hopefully, and you get to see the little heart sweater as I stand up. But and the comments are going. There's this new beta thing in StreamYard. So the comments are going to be flowing. So let's see how this works out. Hopefully the comments will be there throughout the night. And I will obviously still pull them up and showcase them individually, but I love seeing the comments and I want everyone to know that they're featured and they're important. But I'm going to kick it to you because you said you enjoyed our July book, A Wicked Yarn.
I did. It's a combination of crafting, knitting. It's a cozy setting, which I really enjoy. It has that like community aspect, which I always look for in cozies. And, it was, and then like the different cozy like companions too. You had two. So I was really into that.
So I always make my graphics. I always try and come prepared. So we have the book covers here with the graphics. And I absolutely love that we have the cozy companions on each of the book covers. Yes. So for some reason, I don't know why I didn't notice this at first. If you look at A Wicked Yarn with the book cover, the alpaca is there. She's in the background, but she kind of blends in with the red barn. So I think I focused on Daphne. Ben is pointing, so I'm going to take away the media graphics. You guys can see where he's pointing. So I was mostly looking at Daphne, the little cat in front. So maybe this is, I wear progressives. Maybe it's the glasses where I'm like, oh, there's an alpaca on the book cover. Or maybe because I was listening to audio, so I put the paperback aside for a little while. But we have an alpaca cozy companion this time around. In addition to the cats, we always love our cats. Daphne is adorable. I know she's fictional, but I love her. But we have Rosie and alpaca. And now she's working, the daughter of our leading lady, Lia. Her daughter, Haley, works in alpaca farm. So that means we're going to have alpacas in books 2 and 3, hopefully.
Exciting. Yes.
I'm curious. I mentioned this to him before we went live. I was trying to figure out if we've ever had an alpaca cozy companion before, and I truly do not think we have. I think that this was the first alpaca. So I'm going to give Emmie Caldwell a little bit of a shout out for choosing such a unique companion in addition to the cat. We always need cats, dogs. I'm a dog mom. I love the cat in the book, but she added a second cozy companion. So extra shout out for that.
Yeah, there have been goats. I think I read in some, but I haven't read an alpaca. So
No, goats have popped up because we've had
yeah.
farms, but I
Mhm.
just don't think we've had an alpaca farm before.
No.
And it looks like a lot of people have been really enjoying in the comments. You guys seem to really enjoy it. I pulled it up. I think most people have said it's a 4-star to 5-star read. So right now the percentages
Mhm.
is 41% for 4 stars, 21 for 5, 34 for 3, and only 3% gave it 1 or 2. So it looks like majority
That's
of the
very
book
good.
club has been enjoying this. So
Yeah.
and this is a good question. I actually was going to ask this question. So Claudia has the question, has anyone had a sweater made with alpaca yarn before? Because I knew about it, but I had never thought to purchase one for myself. And now that's all I can think about the next
Yeah.
time I go shopping.
Be on the lookout for it.
I know. I thank you for noticing. I appreciate this.
Mhm.
So I was determined to wear something knitted. So I knit scarves, blankets. I don't know how to knit a sweater. So this is the closest I could come to having a knitted item of
Mhm.
clothing. Although I wanted to make sure I grabbed this, even though I had to venture into the hot area of the, of the little nook,
Heard all about that. I love it.
the little nook right off my bedroom where I have all my
Oh,
crafting supplies. So this is the scarf I'm currently working on. It's a little, the ends are always a little rough at
love
first.
that color though. That's a
Thank
nice green.
you. And so we have the extra skein over here, and it
Oh,
has like a little glitter mixed
oh,
in with
it
the thread.
does. Yeah.
So even though it's not a alpaca yarn, I'm still pretty. I'm pretty in love with this yarn as it is, and I like the thicker needles. So when these knitters, I mean, again, I was saying I've knit blankets, scarves. They're doing these intricate little knitting
Mhm.
designs. I was so impressed with these fictional characters. So I mean, I just wanted to showcase, like, yes, if you guys have your knitting, let me know in the comments because I'm curious how many
Yeah.
people here are enjoying this particular craft. Also, now I really want to knit and more intricate things. I mean, they had we did have a dog reference.
Yes.
I'm just diving right on into this. We have a dog reference, and it's a little tiny hairless dog
Yes.
who, whom they're gonna knit.
I had to look it up because I've never seen. I mean, I saw the crested ones before, the ones that had like the hair, but I hadn't seen like a hairless terrier. Yeah.
I mean, I knew about hairless chihuahuas. I knew about
Mhm.
other little dogs. I have a little dog, but they're gonna knit the little baby dog Eloise.
Mhm.
She's gonna have her own knitted sweater, and then she's gonna have one
Yes.
with the hood at one point.
Mhm.
Okay, so now I want to make that for my own little dog, even though they're making it out to be a crazy endeavor. Now that's on my life goal list
Can't
to knit
can't
Daisy
can't wait to see.
sweater.
Can't wait to
Or maybe I can venture off to a craft fair and find a very talented
Yeah.
individual because apparently this is something you can do. You can hire knitters. I mean, I wish the 9th Street knitters were real. Oh, the comments. You guys are so cute. So, yes, we had to look up the terrier, but
Mhm.
aside from that, there are so many different things to talk about with this book. I'm really curious if there's something in particular you guys want to talk about tonight,
Yeah.
because honestly, I was really intrigued by our sleuther. I thought it was interesting because she was the widow, but it was also she's kind of gotten her life together. She'd moved to the cozy
Mhm.
town. Sometime most of the time when this is occurring, we get them in the midst of change,
Oh,
not
mhm.
immediately after. So I was thinking about Poppy McAllister with Libby Klein, how we get the sleuther as she's making the transition. So for
Mhm.
some reason that wasn't playing in my mind. I'm going, we're seeing her after she's already kind of come to terms a little bit. She's still sad. And I love the fact that it's the daughter's romance that we had and not our
Mhm.
leading
Mhm.
lady. I love
Love it.
this. We have to talk about Haley, the daughter. We also have to talk about Brady. So it's a cozy mystery. We have to
Yeah.
have a cop love interest at some
Mhm.
point in the series, whether it's for the
Mhm.
best friend Sleuthter or the daughter now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's great that the daughter has the cop love interest. I just wanted to do like mic drop, like, thank you, Emmie Caldwell. You mix this up for me in the best of ways. We still
Mhm.
get our trope, we still get our theme, but it's not the same. So
Mhm.
right off
Mhm.
the
It's a
bat, you're
little.
nodding like we got a shot.
Yeah, it was great because she's already settled in her community. She found her people, so it was like it's very cozy with she was set in her own kind of way, and I'm glad she didn't have love of interest. It made me you got to get to know her, and which I feel like sometimes they have to like shove that love interest in there. So it was nice that it was just her daughter, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like we can live vicariously through her daughter, and like she can continue doing what she's doing.
And it's a slow burn romance
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
he right from the get-go is attracted to Haley. His face lights up, he blushes.
Hmm.
Also, he's a little ginger, which I kind of
Yeah.
love because I
Adorable.
mean, we don't get a lot of redheaded men in cozy mysteries. Um, I love how I say that as I'm writing one. But moving on from that little side tangent comment digression. So I love that he is this brand new cop in town. He's a beat cop. He wants to work his way up. So he's not actually a full-on detective yet. So also a little bit of a spin. Like we have him in his uniform. He's not doing the full, okay, notebook flip. I got to look. I mean, he's not the full detective. So I kind of like that as well. I like that he's still finding himself. I like that Haley is changing her job, mixing up her life. I liked the characterizations and the growth that we were seeing. So I'm kind of excited to see where Brady and Haley end up in books 2 and 3. You're nodding like, okay, what are your thoughts?
Like it was very cute because it wasn't like, oh, you know, it was a slow build, you know, they went on as dates, you know, she's like talking to him. She was still like split between, you know, the big city and here. So she wasn't sure kind of what she was going to do. And so it was a kind of nice, you know, little addition. Like, I don't think it was a push that she needed necessarily, but it was like a nice like bonus. Like she's like, oh, I'm going to stay here. And then I have Brady too. So
she had a built-in friend, and I thought it was hysterical how Haley roped him in to being a part of the mystery itself. So this poor guy, he's not a detective. He's a beat cop. So he's kind of just around what's going on with the detectives, what they're looking into, what the witnesses are saying. So he's reporting back to them. Yeah. I mean, it's not his case. So I mean, he can say whatever he wants.
It was really cute too. Yeah, he wasn't the lead detective, you know, like he was just, and he didn't say no. He joined along with them, which I was like, good points for you, Brady. Points for you.
So one of my notes somewhere in here, because I always have to have my notes. One of them was, I thought it was absolutely amazing that Brady bonded with her mom. So I love that Brady and Lia actually went out to dinner, and she's not really interviewing him to be, you know, the future son-in-law. No pressure like that, but she's literally just talking to him, learning about his life. He was an Eagle Scout with Boy Scouts, which I thought that was a wonderful reference. That made me so happy. And she just got to know him on a sort of one-on-one basis. But he went out to dinner with his love interest.
Yeah, with his mom. Yeah. Like, who does that? Who would do that? It was so sweet. It was so sweet.
I mean, now it's one of those, that's not just a matter of, oh, I want to introduce you to my parents. This is, I'm just going to go hang out with your mom, have a conversation, tell her everything. The comments are pouring in. So Grace, you were more interested in the daughter's happenings than Lia.
Pretty much.
I mean, she had a lot going on too. I mean, in addition to Lia losing her husband, so Haley lost her dad. And even though they were talking about how Haley was kind of more spontaneous, or they kind of played off a little different things, that she was still growing as a person, I still loved her right from the very beginning, because she drove up to visit her mom for Mother's Day and she gave her flowers because that's what Dad used to do. So right from then on, I'm going, you can do no wrong. I'm on your side.
She was keeping that tradition going, which is so sweet. Like, she didn't have to, but it was really sweet.
Haley was the too stupid to live character regarding her detective skills, and because of it, she kind of gets Brady injured. Cat Mom, that is a very fair comment. So I made a notation that Lia, our main sleuther, is not reckless, and then I had a little asterisk, but Haley is. So we have to have a confrontation with our killer at some point. We'll spoiler free for another couple minutes, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it was the daughter who decided, I'm going to go confront the killer, because naturally that's what you do. Even though she's texting with Brady, has his number, he's been roped in. If I were her, I would have just, messaged him.
I brought him along. Like, why go by yourself? Yeah.
I'm even just no taser, no weapon. I mean, I'm not saying go with a gun. I'm just saying at least have one of those knuckle rings or something.
Yeah.
Something to protect yourself when you know this woman's killed 2 people so far. Or especially 2 people that we know of. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, so Regina, you would have loved to have met Haley's roommate. And that could be something for book 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I'm game for that, because
they can come visit. Yeah.
Yeah. They said they were. I just saw this comment mom interview for Brady and Lia. But I mean, that's also something where I kind of got to give Emmie Caldwell credit, because we still have characters that are referenced but we haven't met the roommate.
Mhm.
There's other people at this craft fair. So I think right now there are only the 3 books in the series. Maybe at some point there'll be a 4th book.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be with the main publisher, if she'll self-publish it, but at least something like that, you're kind of giving yourself room to grow and play with for books 2 and 3, maybe more later. Green flag equals, I just saw this. Green flag equals Brady. That's so true. Haley was your favorite. It looks like there's a lot of love for Haley. Oh, but we do have to have the Belinda conversation.
Belinda.
So Claudia, you brought up Belinda and you just immediately shake your head. I'm going, okay, Ben, what are your thoughts about Belinda?
Oh, I forget which 9th Street knitter mentions that she didn't like Belinda at first. And I was like, I get that. Because I feel like Belinda is a acquired taste. Like she gets flustered easily. And I feel like when you first meet someone, like if that's their attitude, it's kind of hard to not like see that every time you see them. So I feel like Belinda has a lot of stress with, running the craft fair. But I feel like she gives into that stress and kind of lashes out sometimes. And I'm like, Belinda, no. Like, Leah's here helping you. And she's like, I love Leah's relationship with Belinda, because she goes and, comforts her, makes sure she's eating. And Belinda's kind of like, meh, like she's kind of, but she kind of wears down and she's fine again. But I feel like she just needs to get to that point in her life where it's like, she's okay. And I still feel like she has some baggage, from her divorce, and stuff like that. So I feel
baggage is a very nice way of phrasing that,
yeah.
because I almost got the impression that the divorce really kind of broke her and not emotionally healed. And this is one of those things, like when you're upset, you start eating poorly, which also makes you feel badly. Like I kind of got the vibe that she needed to do a lot of the self-care, self-love. And she was very abrasive. And it's hard to have that on the page, because when you have an actor in a TV show or movie, they can have mannerisms or look back, or even if the actor themselves are just likable, it's harder when you have a character you're trying to picture in your head and like that's what you have to work with. So inviting herself over with Chinese food, I'm like, you better at least have paid and not have asked her for money, because you just kind of intruded on her evening plans. So I'm like, this is your treat, right? Like that was never addressed in the book, but I'm really hoping that was her treat for dinner.
And that scene, I was like, oh, this is so sweet. They have like this, like thing where that was their thing, Chinese food, and it was really sweet. So you see this like, past Belinda where she was, in better mood, better attitude, but you have the current her who needs to deal with a lot of stuff. And it's like she has
I just saw this comment through. If Belinda had ended up dead, I wouldn't have minded.
I hope book 2 has Belinda, healing from some of this would be nice.
I mean, in all fairness though, she still was a good friend to Lia prior to the start of the book. So we get the backstory, but we don't really get to see that on the page. So maybe having a flashback or something would have given us some context, because I do get the impression that she did do a lot of things for Lia when she moved and inviting her to the craft fair. So even though she had her moments, I'm still going to give her a little bit of a pass. I don't think I wanted her dead. I mean, some people in the comments are saying she could have been the victim. I get it, but I'm still not totally convinced she's unredeemable.
I'm like hopeful for book 2,
You're like, we can tell we're optimistic people. Like, this is why we propose. He's like, we have hope for her.
Yeah, I'm like, it was hard because, she's one of the like main characters and she's so kind of abrasive. So it's like, I'm like, come on, Belinda. Like,
I just saw this, Jay, with the dead ex-hubby. I'm sure Belinda will be a peach now.
That issue's gone, yeah.
And then Pamela C. She might be nicer in book 2 since her ex is dead. I love this train of thought that you guys are going on.
Darren's terrible. So, I mean, yeah, I think...
So I listened to the audio twice, and Cat Mom, the audio voice of Belinda was also a bit rough. So I'm curious if people listened to the audio or read the paperback or the ebook. So listening to the audio, it reminded me of a smoker's voice. There was a real rasp to it. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but her voice sounded really raspy to me. And I really liked the narrator. I really enjoyed her. There's a moment in the book that, because I read this first, then listened to the audio. I'm trying to be better about getting to the gym, listening to things on audio. I'm trying to be more active, getting my steps in. And so I'm listening to the gym, and she had this one line with the cat going, take me, I'm yours, because the cat went limp. And the way the narrator said it, I started laughing, and 2 people in the gym turned to look at me like, what just happened? So the narrator, I mean, she made me happy in a way that got me embarrassed, but totally worth it.
That's good. Oh.
Will book 2 be Belinda's redemption story?
I hope so. I hope so.
Oh my gosh. This is true. I just saw. So Eliza, one of our former guest hosts, she joined for February and May. Shout out. I always want to call her Tori, but she has the pen name Eliza. So I'm going to call you Tori. So this is true. Can you imagine how hard it must be to be in a small town with an awful ex-husband who's notorious for being a jerk? That's fair. I like that you're giving Belinda the benefit of the doubt.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
Yes, Belinda was in a rough spot with that voice. Okay, someone else was listening to the audio because I loved some of the voices that this woman did. She nailed some of these characters, but that was the one voice where I'm going, it sounded like a different narrator to me. For some reason, this one character sounded so different than all the others. So
love it.
And I'm seeing, oh, she was also worried that the fair was going to get shut down. Pamela's very true.
A lot of stress for Belinda.
And I can call her Tori or Eliza. So Tori, Eliza, I adore you. And so does everyone else. We adore you. You're so great. And fun fact, I know that this is just random. So I apparently am the worst person when it comes to texting. I owe her a text. I only saw this about 15 minutes before we started doing the live stream. I have been silencing my notifications without realizing it. So I had the do not disturb with the text messages for probably 2 weeks now, which I did not realize. So I have about 100 missed text messages. So I will get back to you, Tori. And if people in the comments have ever done this, please make me feel better about my life, because I felt so badly when I saw it says do not disturb, and I did not mean to do that. Like, you can disturb me all you like. Anywho, back to the notes. I love how I just have a page that says alpaca farm, alpaca yarn, cute animals, just an entire page dedicated to alpacas. Oh goodness. And then I didn't even need to look at my notes for Belinda. So we do have to talk about the murder. So we kind of were dancing around it a little bit with Belinda because it is her ex-husband. But we have 2 bodies that drop. So we have the ex-husband who's murdered at the craft fair. And I kind of love that there's a creepy clown pottery thing by his head. Yeah. I was picturing Stephen King, and I was just going, oh my gosh. I was just picturing Pennywise. It was just in my head going,
did it? It said like a tombstone, right? Like a headstone.
Yep. And then you have the actual pottery, which is the murder weapon. And so that was interesting unto itself. Belinda finding the body. But then we have Lia, who finds body number 2, another craft fair participant, the painter. So I'm curious. Yeah. So we have Darren, if you want to talk about that murder first, but then we have the second murder with Joan, whom I've been very upfront with my love of cozy mysteries, saying I like it when we have murder victims that we can just go, okay, let's move. I understand. I'm not that sad. We're moving on, solving this mystery. She was one of those characters for me. I was not super upset that she was murdered.
I was not either. But to start off with Darren, like, I mean, the only time we see him before he's dead is when he busts into the barn during the craft fair with his going over looking to make changes. And I was like, it's so rude. It's so Darren. So you didn't even feel bad for him. You're like,
Joan was awful. I just see that. That's the one message.
Joan was awful. Yeah.
This woman. So eventually we find out that the murderer set her up to some degree with fake. I also love that it's Twitter in the book, not X or anything else. It's Twitter.
No, it's
so
Twitter.
She has the fake Twitter, the Facebook posts, commenting, saying how she doesn't like the craft fair. She's going to back out. So the murderer did that. But before the murderer did that, she was still posting stuff on her original account and saying everything. So anybody she came in contact with,
believable. Yeah.
Everyone knew she was very upset with Belinda. And so even though you don't love Belinda, you don't love this woman talking about her and tearing down the craft fair. So
no, and she just seemed like a terrible person. Just in general.
But apparently she must be the best painter in the world because they were
Yeah.
saying she's a big draw for the crowd and people are always buying things. Even when business was slow, they were going, yes, we're going to her booth. So I'm not really sure what her paintings were of, but they must have been just, chef's kiss beautiful. So, I mean, if they ever do an adaptation.
Polar opposite of her mood, her
maybe
personality.
that's where all her goodness went into her artwork. Maybe that's why she was so bitter. All the goodness.
There was nothing left. There's nothing left.
But we've all met a Joan. We've all met a Joan. No one is sad to see Joan go. Oh, Eliza, that's very true. Oh my gosh, I love this. Diva Temple. If someone didn't take that lady out, I would have DNF'd this book. I mean, she had a lot of attitude. I mean, did you really want to read another 100 pages of that?
No. I was kind of glad she was gone.
How did Joan not realize someone was posting comments pretending to be her? She didn't know what she was doing or post about in her sleep. That was so weird. That's true. So the fake account, at some point, someone might have eventually noticed, hey, you just posted, you don't have your phone or computer in front of you.
I would think I would see that. I mean, especially if they're on they were on the Facebook page for the craft and then the fair and yeah, I feel like people would have saw that.
But we also had a 7-Eleven visit, which apparently is the worst alibi in the world. So in addition to Joan, there are so many characters who are at this craft fair. I had to start writing them down. We have Zach with his honeybees, who has a wife who gave information with the backstory. And then we have Olivia. So there were a lot of characters to keep track of. But when it comes to other people being unlikable, there were a few characters going, okay, I'm not really sure where we're going with this.
There was a large supporting cast. Yeah.
A huge supporting cast. So it took me a little bit. I think I learned all of the craft fair participants, but I'm still a little iffy on the 9th Street Knitters. I'm sorry to say. I'm still learning their names and remembering who's whom.
They were just so detached. I mean, even though they're part of the craft fair, they're just so they're physically in York, so it's they all kind of blended in together too a little bit.
But we do have the other craft fair participants. So the reason why I brought this up is because we have, I think it was Annie who went to 7-Eleven and that really crashed her alibi. So Annie, I can't remember what her craft was.
I don't have her down.
I can't remember what her craft table was off the top of my head. Olivia has the anxiety soaps, candles, even though she's the most anxious of all the characters in the book, which again, irony. But they also are kind of giving things where you're going, okay, who's this suspect? Are they a suspect? So I know a lot of people said on, I believe it was Threads and then on the Instagram that they did not solve this mystery. And I think part of that has to do with, okay, her alibi, she's at 7-Eleven, maybe she wasn't home the whole time. She's the pottery person. I just remembered that's why it was.
There you go.
He's the pottery person. So she was doing her pottery at night while, her family was asleep. So they were hard to kind of figure out on Saturday night, who didn't have an alibi? Well, it's the middle of the night. Who really has a set alibi? So my list of suspects is pretty long.
Was everyone.
Oh, yes. Thank you for confirming she's the potter. Okay, thank you for for some reason I blanked on that. Again, there are a lot of characters to remember. I can't remember which one of the 9th Street Knitters has the tiny needles and she's doing the baby garments. They all have their little specialties, but I just know that they all knit. That's where we're going. Oh my gosh, there's more comments. I'm just seeing them all. And you thought Maggie was the quilter. Yes. Also, fun fact that I made a notation of, Brady, when he has his gunshot wound near the end, Lia decides to grab one of the quilts for his bleeding. And I'm going, are you going to buy that? Are you going to reimburse her? Do we know? I mean, you didn't use one of your knitting items. You grabbed one.
She could have grabbed one of her own knitting things. I was like, really? We're going to grab the quilt? That takes a long time.
Oh, thank you, Anita.
Karen.
This was one of, I actually have a full page dedicated to her and Paulette. So Sharon is the best next door neighbor, and she's the neighbor we all need in our lives. I absolutely adored her, and the fact that you're nodding like, okay, what did you like about her? Because I have so many.
I feel like she was always there for her, and I was like, oh, especially I vividly remember that fake hospital call that Haley was in the hospital, and Sharon was there for her, and I was like, this is really sweet,
It was so sweet the way she just dropped everything to
Mhm.
drive Lia to the hospital for what turned out to be a prank call, because
Yeah.
that had to be one of the meanest things you can do to someone. When you say your child is in the hospital, that
Mhm.
person, their heart is going to sink, their whole everything just comes to a screeching halt. That was so cruel. Yes,
It
there were
was so
murders,
cruel. It was so cruel.
but like that to me
More
was,
cruel than the murder.
I
Like
mean,
Joan was gonna get it, so yeah. But it was more cruel than.
but I mean, there were so many things that this woman did that were so sweet and endearing to me. At the very end, when everyone wanted to come and offer their, oh, are you okay? I just wanted to check in with you guys. You went to the hospital, and I just noticed that things are pausing there for a second, and this is working. She just Sharon's going, I can set up on your porch to turn people away politely, and I won't eat the food that they drop off. And she tacked that on there. I'm going, that was a great line, and that was
Mhm.
such a sweet thing to offer. And
Mhm.
I just for some reason, this character, she's only in a few scenes, but she was one of those like page stealers for me. I
Impactful, yeah.
adored her. I mean, seriously, I want a next door neighbor like that. Just anybody in my life like that.
Yeah, she's super, super sweet.
Everyone, okay, thank you for all saying this, because I really feel like she's a side character, but she needed her own little like shout out. If she wants to get her own little spin-off series, if there's only gonna be 3 books for the 9th Street Knitters over here with a Wicked Yarn, if this is just, a 3-book series, I give her own spin-off.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Paulette. Or Paulette. I'd be fine with that.
We can have a Sharon Paulette team up spin-off series. It would be awesome.
So, I mean, I just with Paulette, I have little post-it notes about her because I started keeping track. So this woman, she is the one who inspired the alpaca farm visit. She is the one who ordered the alpaca sweater. And I love when Leah's making it, she's going, can I touch it? And the way she just wants to be a part of it. And she's doing the tango. She's very
Mhm.
easy to
Mhm.
like. And then she makes the introduction with, I believe it was Evie and her little
Yeah.
dog with
Mhm.
Leah. Like she's helping with the sleuthing. But I truly fell in love with this character. In addition to when she introduced and helped with the sleuthing, she goes to the craft fair and starts buying all sorts of stuff to show her support.
Yeah.
And she made Belinda speechless. Okay, Paulette, you get a gold
Mhm.
star for that as a side character, because she's going, I was telling all of my patients that they need to come here too. And she's spreading
Yeah.
good words and vibes about the craft fair. I'm going, you bought this very expensive sweater, you
Mhm.
introduced with the sleuthing, you're helping with the craft fair. I'm going, can I keep you? Can you get
Right?
everything?
It's like that supportive friend that you need. Like she's gonna be there and support you, which is awesome. Like that's what we need.
I mean, we also just sort of met Paulette. She was a
Mhm.
customer who all of a
Yeah.
sudden decided to be an ambassador for the crafting fair.
Mhm.
And she also decided, yeah, I'm going to introduce you and help you with the sleuthing. I'm going, can we just seriously keep you? I mean, if you want to give a spin-off to Sharon and then one to Paulette, I mean,
Mhm.
we can give you things to write, Emmie Caldwell. I'd be fine with that.
Get Haley off the sleuthing because she's gonna hurt herself, and then get Paulette in there.
Yes. So I saw one person said it was the too stupid to live moment, which was, I mean, that at least do something to protect yourself. But what do we think about Haley sleuthing? Because she kind of motivates her mom to keep sleuthing.
She
And
does.
I mean, the 9th Street Knitters are helping with the sleuthing. Leah is
Mhm.
sleuthing.
Mhm.
There are a lot of different people here contributing to let's solve the mystery of who's the killer. So, I mean, is Leah your favorite sleuther with the 9th Street Knitters? I mean, did you have
Mm.
a favorite sleuther? I mean, there's just so many people who are invested in this mystery.
It's Leah, yes. I feel like Paulette. I feel like Sharon being there supporting her. I do love the 9th Street Knitters. I feel like they were there in the background helping.
Mhm.
Haley, just I feel like she was just like a bull in a china shop, kind of just charging in and just kind of like. And I'm like, you lived in
It
Pittsburgh?
was,
No.
yeah, they were in the middle. She lived in the city, so in Pennsylvania, it's
Yeah,
Pittsburgh. Yeah, you're
yeah.
right.
She was there, and I was like, you don't have any common sense. Like just because we're in a cozy town doesn't mean there's 2 bodies already, and like you need to be a little more safe. Like
That was actually one of the references at one point, though, too, right? She
yeah,
was like, "What's gonna happen here in
yeah.
Crandalsburg?" And it's going, "Oh wait,
2 bodies.
2 murders. Oh, that's not nothing."
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
you got a friend there who's a cop. Bring him along.
yeah.
Just say.
She just brought him along, and I think she would have been safe. And poor Maggie's quilt would not have been destroyed. You know,
And then again, when you're a beat cop or just a cop in general, you have to be active. So not only is this man injured, his job was kind of put in jeopardy too. So that's kind of double whammy on Haley's behalf. So a little disappointed, Haley. But
it is comedic though, because her like, what's worse going to happen in this small cozy town? I'm like,
Vicky's comment. Lia was the gatherer, pulling all of the facts together. Yes, that is a good way of summarizing that.
Yeah, you had a team of people getting all the information, but she packed it together.
I just saw this. She's gonna be fine. She's 23 years old. She's a Spitfire. Amanda, not the quilt.
I know. I think about that. I'm just like, oh.
Thank you for understanding. That was one of my things where I'm going, you just destroyed this quilt. You're not gonna. What do you? Oh, I'm so disappointed. She's a crafter. She should appreciate other people's crafting.
She should have grabbed her own thing. Like, I was like, come on.
Something she knit, not even one of her friends. Something she
just her knit. Yeah, like there's stuff. There was placemats. I'm like, come on.
Well, they also were special ordered placemats of the daisies, which I thought was adorable. So I'm game for now placing an order with knitters going, can you make my dream come true? Is there alpaca yarn involved in this? I really want something with alpaca yarn. I know I said that before, but I really want alpaca yarn.
I need some placemats. Like, shoot. Oh, the first cozy set in Pennsylvania.
I mean, Crandalsburg, I visited Gettysburg College at one point. So I've been in the area before, but I'm going, I love this little fictional town that she set there. So I like that we have the big city moment and we're not too far from that because we have reference to, we're going to go see the musical. We're going to go do this and the daughter traveling back and forth, but it still stayed that small town cozy. So I kind of tip my hat in that way. I just saw this cat mom. The author's bio mentioned that she's a crafter in her own life. She should have known better than to sacrifice a quilt or she wanted fellow crafters to cringe. That's very true. Crafters understand. There's so much time and energy put into making those things.
The gas we all did when that moment, we're like, oh.
I mean, this character is shot, and I'm worried about the quilt. Wrong response.
He's fine. He's fine. The quilt will not be fine.
So we were talking about the alpacas, but we have to talk about a little cozy companion there. Daphne. I'm going to kick it to you. Your thoughts on Daphne?
Daphne is precious, and it's one of my. I love that she was intentionally only going to be there for a little bit. As Daphne's original owner, the husband learned that he was allergic to cats, so she could not stay there. And I love that she was able to find a home and a great home. But she really loved that family, and it was really sweet.
Haley loved Daphne right from the beginning. It was almost as if she went right into the perfect atmosphere, like the perfect family. So at some point it's mentioned that Daphne's 5 years old. So I'm kind of curious how long she was with the 9th Street Knitter family with the husband who turned out to be allergic. I don't know how long she was with them.
It must not have been that long. I would think so, right?
I mean, maybe Daphne has
maybe a couple months.
I don't know how long it takes for you to develop that kind of allergy, because I can tell you flat out, as someone who has issues with cats, I know when there's a cat in the house within
day one, I would have felt like he would have known. I mean, she mentioned that she would go and Daphne had a little seat. She had a spot where she sat to pet Daphne. So I mean, she's been there for a little while at least.
I just saw this is something. So this is why I'm friends with this woman, because I actually had the exact same thought process. I felt so bad for the cat. I would get rid of my husband before the cat. Maybe that's why I don't have a husband. And honestly, there are these Instagram videos. I'm sure you've seen them on Instagram, TikTok, with people talking about my significant other doesn't have a job and I pay for everything and they take up the bed and I don't mind. And then it's like, here's my significant other and it's the animal. I mean, if you don't like my dog, deal breaker right from the get-go. I really would have gotten rid of the husband.
There's medication he could have took. He could have been fine. I was like, they do shots. Like, he could have been fine. Like,
that's exactly what I was thinking, because they do have shots and they do have medications, or even if you have her groomed on a more regular basis, or something,
a little more cleaning, like, come on.
She's worried about getting the carpet cleaned.
Jen was more than ready to get rid of Daphne. So Daphne landed in the better home. So that's what I think.
Exactly. She ended up where she was supposed to be.
And Daphne loved Brady too. So that was another tick,
All of the green flags for him. There were no red flags when it came to Brady's character. If the animal loves you, as the reader, I am immediately going to be like, okay, he is a good guy. If the animal doesn't like you, you are my number one suspect.
You're evil, and you definitely.
I just assume something terrible is going to happen if the animal doesn't like you.
Yeah,
so you're going to be the next murder victim. But one of my notes was, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but Daphne, I kept thinking of Scooby-Doo. Like, is there a mystery machine reference in here? I mean, is Daphne going to help solve this in some way? Maybe in a future book she will. But I was curious if she knew, yes, I'm naming her Daphne. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I kept thinking about that.
Such a beautiful name.
It is. Also, Daphne from Frasier, one of my all-time favorite characters. I love Frasier. Just throwing that out there. If I had to choose, I'm seeing this. If I had to choose between Miss Pumpkin and a guy Miss Pumpkin would win every time. Yes.
Exactly.
So I will say this is also where I think the author deserves some credit for giving details or adding context to things. With Lia having had cats previously, you'd think, oh yeah, of course she's going to have a cat. So we have her have a conversation with the daughter saying, well, I'm really, I loved this cat, but I'm going to be really upset if and when I lose her. And I'm still upset about the cat that I lost. And that was so real to me. Again, we love our cozy mysteries. We love the escapism, the campiness, but that was just something so relatable, because when I lost Max, I was so devastated. I honestly, if Daisy was not already in my life, I probably would not have gotten Daisy. And so I related so hard to Lia as a character in that moment. I think that's when I was just fully on her side forever, because I'm going, that's true. Thank you for saying that.
It is like when I had a cat in just after high school. He passed away, Simba, and I had him since kindergarten. And I mean, it's been years. But I still think about you. Still think about those pets. Just they're part of your life, even if it's for like a brief moment. And it's just so that part was really relatable for me too. Just I was like, I understand the hesitant. Like you're like, I don't know if I have enough space in my heart, for another animal. So it's
Oh no, I still have my memory box. I have the shadow box. I still have all sorts of stuff for Max. I mean, I keep them in a prominent place. Like he's still a little love in my life, and I still have my photos and talk about him. But for some reason, when she had that conversation, like it really like struck a chord in me as the reader, as I'm getting like teary-eyed talking about this. But I love that she's like, no, this cat is worth it. She's so well behaved. She's so kind. You love her. I love her. Like she is welcome. Like it did not take her more than a couple minutes to reach that decision. But at least that thought process, like I would have had a similar one. And I also love that it was handled in such a nice, gentle way. So little shout out on that behalf, as I'm like getting emotional.
I love it because she had the phone call with Jen and she's like, give me like a week or so. And it was like 5 minutes after.
Yep. Oh no, she was keeping that cat. I mean, we've had a couple books in the last, I want to say, so I know Eliza Torrey here. We were talking about the February book, and the animal was a gift. So we have had animals become gifts in several of these cozy mysteries, but I love that she had the choice and she chose her cozy companion. The way it was handled was different than some of the ones we've been seeing previously. So I also like that she chose to have her in her life and going, I'm taking her in. So all of the fictional credit, Cusey Coatness, like I just love it.
I love it. Yeah, because it was at first it's gonna be temporary, and I was like, I wonder if she's gonna end up with Daphne.
I would have been really sad if she had to give Daphne back. I was waiting for that. I was wondering what was gonna happen.
Or maybe she'd get her own cat, like I didn't,
like a little sister, or Daphne would be pregnant and she'd get one of the kittens. Like I was trying to come up with my own ending. But seriously though, I really love the Daphne storyline. Although I will admit, I am not forgiving the lady who gave her up, because again, I would have totally dealt with the husband.
He could have gotten meds. I was like, he could have gotten a shot. Like I felt like it was such a week.
I mean, I also love this. The cat is on the cover. We can't give her back. It's true. If the animal's on the cover, she's on all of the covers. So again, with my little graphics, let's see if I can go pull this up. So I'm pretty sure the cat is on the cover for every single book. So yeah, so I get my little thing that pops up. And then
Oh, I like that second one with the little stuffed alpaca. That's cute. Yeah.
and then so also I kind of love that the barn is involved with all of the book covers.
Mhm.
And I almost didn't realize until I started actually analyzing the book cover how detailed it was with the knitting in the barn.
Yeah.
So when you actually zoom in and look at the sweaters and you look at the little balls of yarn, I mean, they really went all out with this book cover. The illustrator did a fabulous job.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I
you
love
also
it.
have the cuteness on top of that. So just saying,
Aw.
I am game. So I took the screenshots. So I'm going, okay, we have a Wicked Yarn. We have the second book in the series, Stitched in Crime. And then I love the titles, Knits, Knots, and Knives. So, I mean,
That's good. That's good.
all the titles are crafting related. You have the Cozy Companion on the cover. I mean, this is hitting all of the cozy chords. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish that there were more than. On one hand, I like it when there's just like a short series because then I'm not reading the same series forever. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You guys know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, like if you fall in love with the place, you want more from them. But sometimes you just go back and start rereading from 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, and get to fall back into Crandalsburg and stuff like that. So I'm definitely probably picking up books 2 and 3. I think people before were saying they were already getting book 2, already starting book 2. And then I think I'm glad you guys like the artwork too.
Yeah.
So I am curious though. We did I hit on it before. So when it comes to contemporary cozy mysteries or just contemporary novels in general, it's so interesting to me because they really are a snapshot in time. So when it comes to something like social media, I remember going to a panel one time where it was a young adult author saying she created her own fake social media platform. So then all of her books have this fake one when it talks about, posting this, posting that. I'm going, that might be exceptionally clever, or people are going to be confused about what platform it's supposed to be related to. But it did say Twitter, and we have Facebook. I mean, Facebook is still Facebook, and Facebook apparently is just going to be around for eternity because
forever. Yeah.
it's become a staple in people's lives. But the Twitter reference, I'm going, this didn't age well. But there are other.
It automatically,
So you're automatically going, wait a second, how old is this book? And it's only 5 years old. So it came out in 2020, and I think the copyright was 2021. So it's not that old of a book, old of a series, but yet did that take you out of it? What did you think about something like a reference like that?
I still call Twitter, so that's on me, but but I feel like it would be dating if it used like MySpace or something, I guess. So I mean it's but I feel like maybe in like 10 years it might feel a little more dated than it does now.
No, I mean, if you were on the platform before it transitioned to X, you do.
Oh yeah, we're still calling Twitter. Yeah.
I mean,
we're tweeting.
No, but it's still Twitter. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but when you type in Twitter, it goes to X. Like I still type in the T for Twitter.
Yeah.
It just do.
But I do like the idea of having a fake social media because I mean I feel because you can explain it enough where people would get the reference what it's referencing, but it's I feel like that would kind of set it so it's not dated kind of.
I was just really curious because she had some other fun actor references in there, and I'm going, those are still relevant, current, and it was able to be worked in. There weren't a lot of pop culture references, so it was just the social media platform because it was referred to a couple of times with Joan and her posting things. So it was also a part of the mystery narrative itself. So that was also something like you couldn't just glaze over it. So it had to be, in your brain or part of your little clues and you're writing things down. So maybe that's why I also noticed it more so than if it was just randomly referenced, like, yeah, I just updated my Twitter account or something.
Yeah, and like using Facebook, I mean, I don't know if all the age of everyone in the crafting community was mentioned, but I was like, oh yeah, they're all probably older. So I mean, Facebook market, the page makes sense. Like,
I mean, I also so Crystal T Knits, hello, former co-host. There you are. See, if she called it X, I would have been like, what is that?
Yeah.
Very fair comment because
that would have taken me out. I would close the book and be like, what is going on here?
Just saying. I mean, I was curious what you guys thought about that because these are the things I think about when it comes to how is this going to be, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and will it age the book? Is it okay? But I like the idea of it being a snapshot in time. Like that's how I look at it. Like it is a snapshot. And people are talking about Sue Graft and like same thing. It's a snapshot showing like this is what this was happening during this year and this is how it's forever going to stay. Like certain things are not I don't want to say this in a bad way, like they're not meant to be timeless, like they're not meant to transcend, you know, it's going to be every year where this is relevant. I mean, we love Jane Austen forever, but you know, Pride and Prejudice set in a very specific time. You can adapt it to whatever you like. Still set in a very specific time. No one calls it X. You guys are still talking about it.
No one does.
No one calls it X. No.
Uh-oh.
It was just so cute. But if there is something you guys want to talk about in the comments, please let me know, because I know I posted this before and I'm pretty sure I asked it on Instagram too. If there's something, a scene, character, line of dialogue. I know I took a couple screenshots because people commented that they loved it. And then someone saying they didn't get the chance to read it. I know Mez is here. So Mezzanine said she loved it. It was one of her favorites of the year so far. Rachel, she said it was a great mystery. And then when it came to the mystery itself, I posted this for the Instagram stories, and only one vote for yes, I knew who it was, one vote for I had a hunch, and all of the other votes were nope, not a clue, didn't solve it. So in addition to the characters, we had an interesting mystery. So you're talking about the victims before. We have Darren and Joan, who are murder victims. Who here actually solved the mystery? And or you had all the clues, like you were like, this is my suspect, I'm keeping this person in the back of my mind. Or was there someone else you're going, oh, I totally thought it was Annie. Oh, I totally thought it was Olivia just because she's so anxious about everything. Like, did you actually solve this mystery? And you're kind of not. I'm like, did you solve this?
No, I did not. I was still hung up on, what was it, Martin Brewer? I was all, he has to do something to do with this murder. I was still on that. I was still on that red herring. Oh no, he's the historian, right?
Oh yes, the professor.
Yeah.
I forgot about.
He was very suspicious, and I was like,
Well, apparently
I was still hung up on that.
He had a almost record, like he had a scuffle. He wasn't actually arrested. I have like one hair that's going across my face. It's driving me absolutely.
He was young. I love that they were like, he was young. You know, just a little scuffle, a little.
Yeah, but this was also like 40 years ago. So it's just going, yeah, he's still in good shape. I weirdly thought for like 1 second, is he going to be a possible love interest for her? Because they kept saying how handsome he was. I'm going, he might be in a demographic, and she liked his lecture. But then he was abrasive with the ordering of the food, and he left things kind of. So I'm going, please, no, I'm not really rooting for that anymore. Don't
go back to him. Yeah.
I did have that moment going, is he? I don't know where we're going with this guy.
They kept on bringing it up, and so I kept on falling for that red herring. I was like, oh, I'm.
That's true. See.
Not the only one.
Yeah, no. People are saying, so it looks like a lot of people. So we have Cat Mom who did solve it, and then this is kind of my disposition. So Kay, what's her face? I'm not a solver. I'm just here for the road. So I kind of like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm along for the vibes. I'm along for the characters. So kind of early on, I'm going, I'm not really worried about solving this mystery because there were a lot of characters. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. I'm just saying we had the 9th Street Knitters, we had the craft fair people. She ends up going to this tennis place. So we have the tennis coach, we have the girl, the woman who worked there with her boss, hit the boss who had a woman on the phone calling him. Maybe it's his sister. We had a lot of people to keep track of. And I kind of gave myself permission going, if I don't remember everyone, or if I make a mistake, like it's totally fine. I want to just see how this unfolds. So I kind of just knew who our main suspects were, but I did not find our actual murderer as one of my main suspects. I did not have her on my like top 3 list. So we had Annie they were looking at, they were talking about the professor, and then we had the business partner. So those were the top 3 that I thought were the contenders for the spot of they are the killer.
But I mean, it's nice because it lays the groundwork for the rest of the series. So you do have people that you can bring back and flesh out a little more. So I mean, that's how I going into. I'm just here just to escape, kind of enjoying this cozy world. And then if I solve it, I solve it. If I don't, it's okay. Like it's.
I mean, we still don't know what the professor was doing with that. I missed my lecture. We have Annie, who apparently is doing drugs or something. She's in rehab, or they're trying to get her to rehab. So there were a lot of people that I kind of had in mind, but we've been talking for a while. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So would you like to reveal who the murderer actually was?
The best customer who buys nothing, Jenny. The biggest fan who buys nothing. That's what she mentioned.
She attends the craft fair every week, but she never leaves with anything ever.
No. She's a fan, but
so this is where I'm going, okay, I officially think she's the murderer. Before it was confirmed, my thought was she was the killer when she hypothetically killed off her own parents, saying, I cared for my ailing mother. Her mother's alive and doing well with the husband and her
like, whoa.
sister. Because she also claimed she was an only child. So
and she has a family. Yeah.
Everything she said was a lie. So as soon as that came to light, I'm going, okay, you just moved up my list.
But already with her just showing up, not buying anything, I was like, oh, she's a kooky character. So I was just like, oh, she's just saying these things. But I mean, I totally wrote her off too.
So that's the thing, right? She has this nice conversation, almost bonding with Lia, saying how she took care of her mother. She was an only child. She was a lonely only. She actually used that terminology, a lonely only. And so I'm not saying you're supposed to take these characters, again, this is mystery, like at face value, but I didn't think this was going to be a lie. I did not think talking about your dead mother was going to be leading to, no, the mother is actually fine. Because of the way she interacted with the craft fair, she kept coming back. I thought, oh, she's lonely. These are her people.
Someone like their friends. Yeah, like
I never thought to scratch beneath that fictional surface. It never occurred to me like she was one of the suspects. She was not anywhere on my radar.
No, that's when it's her. I was like, what? I had to read it over again. I was like, what's going on?
I just, Cat Mom, come on. The non-buying crafter is the perfect villain.
It's true.
I mean, fair.
Well,
so other people, I think I said one or two people solved it, but most people didn't solve it. So you fell for Martin. I was thinking the business partner at some point. I mean, I didn't think it was Annie, although at one point I did kind of move her up in my head a little bit, mostly because the 9th Street Knitters, the husband who has the allergies, pointed out that you cannot discard the woman as a suspect just because she's a woman. And I'm going, is this foreshadowing? So in a way, it was.
It did, yeah.
The killer was a woman, so it was foreshadowing in a way. But I'm thinking, is he trying to say Annie should be looked at more? Is she more suspicious than I realized? So he was right, but not in the way I thought he was going to be.
Also, I did not listen to him because I was like, sir, the cat's not here because of you.
Yes, you were the reason Daphne had to leave. We do not like.
I mean, I'm glad that she found a good home. So
yes.
I shouldn't be so mean at him, but.
Oh, I mean, I think I mentioned this before, and I actually got multiple comments and messages sent to me. So when I was applying for different PhD programs and graduate schools, there were multiple schools that I was accepted to when it came to international as well. But Max, my little guy, we were talking about pets earlier. When it comes to quarantine and bringing your pets, it's so difficult to bring them internationally. I legitimately did not go to those schools because I didn't want to leave my dog. So when you can talk, I mean, I made full-on life decisions when it came to the welfare of my little man. Yeah, I mean, I was a dog mom first and foremost. I mean, so when it comes to the welfare, exactly. So when it comes to the welfare of the pets, like he is the red flag character. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's just allergies, but he is a red flag character.
I'm like, if he mysteriously dies in the next book, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happening in book 2. I haven't read it yet, but if something happens with him, I'm also kind of mad at the wife for just letting this away. I'm
like, oh, is your husband such a big baby he can't handle, getting some allergy shots or taking some allergy medication for this, or grooming her more or brushing her more? Like, this was too much of a burden.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm a little skeptical of her as the 9th Street Knitter group. So I mean,
she needs to get out of the knitter group.
She's the hostess. She's the one who they go visit her home. She's the one,
right? Yeah.
Yes, but still, I'm not going to be over this. She could be the best character in the world in books 2 and 3, but I'm still going to be going.
You gave up Daphne just because he has little sniffles. Just because the little sniffles.
This is true. So Eliza, both of them were just plot devices to give Lia a cat. I'll give you that. Yeah. Maybe they were plot devices. I'm taking it too seriously, but still,
we're poking holes in it. It's fine. It's
when you're a pet lover, or even the crafter, like the quilt being ruined. These are the things you notice that just sort of are jarring for you. This is when you take things personally.
But I was expecting Adam, the business partner, I was expecting him to be, because I was like, he had the most to gain. He could have had the whole, business to himself.
He was a terrible person.
And he was a terrible person too.
He was so rude to his receptionist. He might be having an affair. We're not entirely sure. He was rude to Lia. He's still not convinced about, okay, yeah, we'll keep the barn, even that, now that he's gone, we can make this decision. He wasn't even going to confirm that. So he also flat out lied about where he was Saturday night. And also the fact that he did not realize Renee Zellweger was in the movie Chicago and not Chicago when they're doing the stage play.
Yeah.
I loved that so much. So that was one of the pop culture references where I'm going, I really hope people get this reference, because I'm not a big movie musical person. I'm so sorry if that devastates you, and I'm insulting in some way, but I love Chicago. So when it comes to movie musicals, there are select few that I love, and Chicago is one of the select few. And so that was where I'm going, okay, I like this reference. I'm not sure. I'm like the razzle dazzle of it all. I mean, I love that soundtrack, everything about it. So it was a random reference, but I loved it. But he lied. He didn't know about Chicago or Renee Zellweger and her Oscar nomination. Okay, people also are saying he was awful. So yes, I don't know if he pops up in a future book, but maybe he might be a future murder victim, or maybe he'll be a killer next time around. I wouldn't mind that. I'm curious. So if I'm missing a comment and there's something you want to talk about, please let me know again, because you guys are commenting so much and I love that. Makes me so happy. But if there is something you want to talk about and I haven't posted your comment yet, please type it again, because I want to make sure we talk about what you want to talk about. But so I mentioned her before. I was just looking down and flipping through my notes. What are your thoughts on Olivia and her gift basket and her chapsticks and her anxiety, being the self-care, self-love guru when she herself needs some self-care, self-love?
I think it's funny that she needs self-love. That what she's producing, she's not using herself.
I'm curious about that. I mean, is she not sampling her products?
Is this a commentary on something? I was like,
I just saw this comment. Yes, Meredith, I love the Psych musical because it's Psych and they're in Santa Barbara. There's a song all about being in Santa Barbara land. And also you have Gus, who dresses up as Sherlock Holmes. Iconic. He was he has the Jamaican detective man. He has a great line. I love him. Total random tangent moment. Saw that comment.
I love it. But what do you think about Olivia? Like
So Amanda reads cozies. I felt so bad for Olivia. And then Jill saying, oh, the irony. So at one point I'm going, is she a suspect? Because this is also a very random thing to analyze, but the son had a cold. And so she dropped everything in her life to take care of her son with the cold. And so Leah is thinking, does her son have really bad colds? I mean, is he sneezing his head off? You can't text while he has a Kleenex. So I was curious too. I'm going, is this a lie? Or I mean, she could just be the world's best mom. And she's so anxious because she wants her child to be happy, healthy every single moment of every single day. I mean, in which case, God love her, be the best mom you can be. But I wasn't sure if that was a lie or not. And so I'm thinking, again, I never thought to scratch beyond the fictional my mother's dead story, but I'm scratching the my child's sick one for some reason. That one,
is he really sick? Or are you just busy murdering people?
So yeah. So Eliza, the son's cold felt like a clue, and it wasn't, right? We have these red herrings that I don't even know if they were meant to be red herrings, but that's how I fell for them.
Well, you had the professor being like, "Oh, the barn, what historical?" And then he just runs off. Like, I was so suspicious.
I mean, he left his lecture. The way he ordered the sandwich. I'm one of those people. There's this new thing now where people are talking on social media saying that they use the way people talk to the waitstaff to judge their character. And I'm going, that is totally accurate. And they're saying, oh, on my blind dates, or people are even putting this in their dating profiles or something now, like, I'm paying attention to how you talk to the waiters. It's true. And so I know you're a fictional character, Martin, but I was really judging you for the way you ordered that sandwich. He was very abrasive.
Yeah, no, working in customer service, you see like how people treat people, and it's just like, you're like, oh, not a good person. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, Kay, what's her face? Maybe because we read so many mysteries, we're not trusting. And then Amanda reads cozies. We're all just so suspicious of everyone. It's true. We got to get our little magnifying glasses out, put our little Sherlock hats on, and just go to work. It's what we do.
That's why I think this was so good, because there's so many people you were like, are they the killer? Are they not? Like it was hard to really, and that's what with Jenny being the killer. I was like, what?
It will keep you like, I mean, it will keep your attention because you don't know which direction. Is this a red herring? Is this a clue? I mean, again, I thought the sun's cold and her her alibi was fake, but it was fine.
It was just the world's best mom, is what she was.
I know. It's the lip balms. It's not for anxiety. Maybe that's her not being anxious. I mean, that's also true too. I love it when someone is who they are and like this is their version of them that's actually calmed down, going, oh no, we could be up a level. I mean, for all we know,
these are calming me down. This is normal. I mean,
maybe that is her when she's less anxious. I mean, maybe that's just her disposition. We'll find out in books 2 and 3. I'm very bad at solving mysteries, but I still love them. Kay, what's her face? Aw. Oh, and Pamela C. Maybe Haley will help Olivia market her crafts.
There we go.
So we have. So I know I mentioned it at one point with Haley and her job. So what do you think about Haley's evolution for her business development?
I loved it. She was actually happy because she didn't really mention too much about like why she didn't like her current. It seemed like that the whole like company environment was not for her. And so I'm glad she found somewhere where she could use what she went to school for and then is enjoying it too, which made me really happy. And she's home and she's with Brady's there too. So it's like wonderful.
I mean, all of the stars align for her. And I just remembered that I grabbed this little video of an alpaca. So she also has a quote unquote alpaca friend named Rosie. So her mother has Daphne. Now she has her own cozy companion whom she at one point offered to bring into the backyard and live there. But she
should do that.
She is Rosie, but I like the fact that she realized that this wasn't for her, and that felt again something very realistic, going, yes, maybe your income's great there, or maybe this works for where you're living or for something else. I mean, apparently she had the healthcare through her job, and that was referenced when there was that hospital scare. So there were a lot of good things about that job, but she didn't like it. And I'm glad that was one of those nice moments where you're going, okay, thank you for actually taking the step. I know you're a fictional character, but you made the choice that was right for you. And maybe if someone's reading this, they're going, maybe I can do that too. So I feel like maybe there's a little inspirational moment with her in a way.
No, and that's what I like, because I mean, it's great to like actually enjoy what you're doing instead of just being there for the paycheck. And so I'm glad she realized that before she got like super burned out, and just got like changed her own personality. It's like she had the opportunity and she seized it, which was amazing.
And people are commenting saying it sounded like maybe Haley was not really marketing work. Maybe they had her more as an intern. I mean, that's true too. I remember there's something where people are now talking about this, and like 10 years back, as I age myself, maybe it was more than 10 years now that I think about it. I actually remember having it. So I had a scholarship, but you would have had to have paid to be an unpaid intern to get class credits. So you would pay your university for your 3 credits and you would work for free for the business. So you're going, how is this a thing? And it was kind of making me think about those moments. And I'm going, yeah, there have been a lot of times where I felt taken advantage of in business settings, or even just, I remember one time I was a professor's research assistant and I just got everything he didn't want to do. I mean, he actually had something that was in a different language. He's like, do you speak French? I'm going, no. He's like, oh, so I can't give you this.
What?
So you were really just going to pass this off on me, even though I didn't even speak the language. So when it comes to businesses, it's not always the healthiest environment. And so actually saying, no, I'm taking a step back, I'm going to go work on an alpaca farm, that should be on a bumper sticker somewhere.
Yeah. And yeah, like working and not getting paid is like, come on, like, oh. But yeah. So I'm glad she was like, this isn't for me, and she found something else, which made me really happy.
See, intern for free, and then Eliza saying, yes, you had to pay for your internship so you could get class credit. I mean, she is a young character, so maybe it is something like that. Maybe they want to have her work more hours than she possibly should, or maybe there is
Mhm.
someone there it was kind of alluded to who maybe made her uncomfortable. But again,
Yeah.
getting yourself out of that situation, like, go Haley. I know you're fictional, but I'm rooting for you. Yeah, maybe this is going to come up in books 2 and 3, what actually went down with this corporate life with marketing.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. You have a 23-year-old who has an engineering degree and studies a YouTuber. It's true. The amount of things that people study that are not actually end up being relevant to what they do, it's kind of hysterical. I mean, okay, also, I just saw the comment. So she's 23, so she's young, but she's not that young. But this is also where you figure yourself out, right? I mean, I'm significantly older than that, but I'm still figuring myself out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lia, so
Exactly.
also
I mean, yeah.
Lia with so Vicky Farmer plus Lia was patient, not interfering so Haley could make her own choices. I thank you. That is absolutely true. It's almost as if Haley's life was like, this is the show not tell, like showing Lia as the good mother, you know, showing her, giving her, yeah, you can stay in the guest room, not calling it her room. That was pointed out.
Yeah. Well, not making it too comfortable for her. She's like,
but now she can
but
get
I mean,
count.
Yeah, and I'm glad she kind of let her figure her own thing out. So it was good. Good for her.
I have a random notation here because I wanted to make sure I referenced it before I forgot. So one of my little notes here, as I'm going to go pull up the screen. So Emmie Caldwell, as I pull this up. So Emmie Caldwell is obviously the author of A Wicked Yarn, but her name is also Mary Ellen Hughes. So if you were a fan of this book, I know a couple of people said they weren't in love with it, but a lot of people said 4 and 5 stars. If you are a fan of Emmie Caldwell with this book, she has multiple other series as Mary Ellen Hughes. So please keep that in mind if this is the writing style that you enjoy. So this might be a 3-book series, but she has multiple other books and mysteries in existence. I will, however, note, and I'm not trying to say this they are not available as audio. So if you were about to nominate one of the other books as a potential book club read, I would love to read it with you. Maybe we can buddy read, but I will not be able to make an official option for 2026 with the TBR because they're not available across platforms with different mediums. So they're available as paperback and I believe ebook, but not as audiobooks. And I did look that up. So I went through all of her books to make sure. So if you're an audiobook person, unfortunately, Mary Ellen Hughes does not have audio adaptations yet. I'm throwing that out there.
And I appreciate that you do that though, making sure that you have all the bases covered. You have, the audio books and, ebooks, just because everyone reads differently. So it's great that you have that.
Oh, thank you. I try. I really do try.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I pointed that out because I know a lot of people did enjoy her writing style. And if they did want to nominate one of the other books, I'm totally game. Unfortunately, it's not going to be for one of the official 2026 TBR titles. Maybe a buddy read or something. I'm curious. Okay. Oh, different ages. So I think this was mentioned up above at some point too. So we have Haley as the daughter being the sleuther. So she's said 22, 23. And then her mother, I'm not sure if she's in her 50s. Is that what we established? 50s, 60s? So we
probably.
Mm-hmm. So we do have some generational components to this. The 9th Street Knitters, they had one younger member. I know that was pointed out. They had one younger member who still had young kids. So what did you think about the diversity in the ages? I'm not sure about diversity with representation with races, ethnicities, but I don't really think they got into that or, gave a lot of descriptions in that regard. But there was a range when it came to the ages. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It was nice to see different people, different ages kind of interacting, especially I think the younger member was Tracy. I think she's the younger one for that group. So it was nice to see that in their own group.
For knowing that. I'm so proud of you.
I think she's the only one that's was fleshed out. So but I mean, we have more books to figure them all out. But it was nice because you had Lia, you had their neighbor, you had older characters and you had younger characters too. So it was nice to have a little rounding out. It felt more like a community instead of everyone just being the same age,
No, so the multi-generational cast and then the different generations dressed down for events. I just see that as the comment.
Yeah.
Kids these days. So Leia, the way she was dressed casually. And then, so this was also something other people mentioned this. I believe it was I wanted to say Instagram, but she was an older main character for us because the last few books that we've had, I believe they were the Millennial Sleuthers, or even if it wasn't the Millennial, like for instance, February's book, she was widowed young, but she was still, I think, in her late 20s. I mean, again, historical when you're a woman that age to get married young. So we've had a lot of younger sleuthers the last few months. So this was, I believe, so again, it made me think of the Poppy McAllister with the widow. But so we have she's a widow, she's a mom, she's a crafter, she's the businesswoman doing the craft fair. I mean, Lia was kind of a lot of things packaged into one character. So we were talking about the multidimensional generations with ages, but she was multidimensional herself.
And she didn't have a love interest too, which was like a huge thing too. Yeah.
I mean, that was so different. So different.
Yeah. I was waiting for like possible Avengers to pop up for her because they always do, but it was nice that it was her daughter instead of her, so it was nice to see that.
So you liked the fact that she had absolutely no love interest in book one, like you full on enjoyed that. You weren't like there was no hesitation, like, oh, I wish that this they introduced somebody.
It was nice. I was like, that could be book 2. Like, that's fine. Like, I feel like we were getting to know everyone. So it was like, I feel adding like a love interest would have been a whole bunch more for her character. So it was nice to,
You liked that. I was really curious because that was one of my questions for everybody, what your thoughts were, because we're so used to seeing some sort of development or hint at, because even if it's not a full on, we're in a relationship by the end of book 1, there's usually, there's
like someone's sweet to you. Like they did something nice to you and you're like, oh, okay. Like, and she had 0. And I was like, this is fine.
Oh, I like this comment, Shaylee. Lia wasn't ready for love. I feel for her tender heart. And she does reference her husband, Tom. And when she goes that tango class, she's going, I'm not ready for a new partner. So she
has Daphne. She has Daphne. Like, she'll get there. Like, she baby steps for her.
Yeah. She is Daphne. That's how I feel about Daisy. I'm like, I'm a dog mom. We're good. We're fine.
She opened her heart to Daphne. So I feel like maybe in book 3 or something, maybe she'll go on a date or something.
I mean, I agree. And I thought it was, so we have the alpacas, which is a different cozy companion, but also it was different not having the love interest. So I think maybe because we kind of dance around these things where they are cozy tropes and themes, but wasn't for our leading lady. So we have some of these things, but they're in the periphery with secondary and tertiary characters. And then you guys are saying she doesn't need a love interest. She was still grieving her husband. It's totally true. And I thought it was handled tactfully. Also, maybe, again, I'm in front of my romance novels tonight. You guys are really getting to see all the different parts of my little library area. So even though I'm in front of all of these romances, I was happy that there was no romance. I enjoyed the lack of romance, in spite of the fact, as I angled this up, I'm sitting in front of hundreds of them. So the fact that this is, I'm saying I fully enjoyed that there was no romance for her. There was romance with Brady. I'm good with that. I like Brady, but I was happy that there wasn't a guy for Lia or a woman. Like, I liked that she was on her own.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to be on the same page with this too. So I'm like, oh, I mean, Caldwell did us right.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to close the poll. So it's going to end up being So it looks 4 stars, 1 at 42%. So it looks like a lot of people enjoy this book. So that makes me happy. And then Cat Mom, romance does not need to be a focus in a murder mystery, does it? Absolutely not. No. Not every mystery needs a romance. But it's become a very common reoccurring trope.
Usually there's one.
Yeah, it pops up. It's not a requirement. And if you ever read any of those how-to writing books, they will say not to make it the central storyline. Like, they will full on acknowledge that, talk about it, address it. So it can be there, but it's not meant to be the main narrative, which is why we get the mystery. Okay, I'm loving these comments. I love that everyone's saying she was so happy. They were so happy she didn't have a romance, because it's different. I mean, the last few books that we've read anyway, it's different. Yeah. So you enjoyed the book club more than the book.
Oh,
thank you for saying that and being here. That's so sweet. Oh, I'm blushing.
Yeah.
I'm wearing makeup. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm blushing. That's so sweet.
Oh, very sweet. Very sweet. Oh.
But I'm gonna pull it up because I don't want to forget to mention it. So all of your comments tonight are going towards a giveaway. So Kensington Cozies, I absolutely adore the Kensington team. They do such a wonderful job. So all of your comments are going in for a giveaway. So at the end of the night, when everything is fully posted, everyone's participated, commented, I download this way. I can go through all of the comments and transfer them to be giveaway entries. So one lucky sleuther is going to win 2 paperbacks, Murder at the Wham Bam Club. And what a title is that book?
I love that title.
When I first read that, I was going, I was like, thank you, ma'am. Like I was filling in the blanks at the end. And then we have a historical one, The Heir by Darcy Wilde. So 2 very, very different books, 1 lucky person. So all of your comments, if there's something you want to say, please do so, even if it's just emoji to enter for the giveaway. I'm game for that. But no, I just wanted to make sure I referenced that and gave the shout out. I know I posted it in the comments before the night started, but someone's going to walk away very happy, hopefully. And I will announce the winner in the email newsletter first. Everything is always in the email newsletter first, and then I'll share it on the Instagram and threads and all those things. But check the email newsletter, please, 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 please. Trying to hunt people down for giveaways is very difficult because your Instagram handle could be different than your YouTube handle.
Exactly, yeah.
So I very much appreciate it when you check the email newsletter. It makes things so much easier, and I love it. I love it. This past month's winner, she responded right away. I was so happy. I'm like, thank you so much. Because there have been a couple months where I've had to wait and post across platforms and like hope to hear from people. But so please check the email newsletter. I would really appreciate it because you guys deserve, if you win, you should get your prize.
Exactly.
Oh, yes. People are talking about this. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but Jamie Lee Curtis is apparently in talks to do a Murder, She Wrote reboot.
Yeah, I don't. As a Angela Lansbury fan, it makes me I'm willing to watch it, have an open mind, but I just feel like some characters are so that's their character, and like for Jessica Fletcher, that's Angela Lansbury, and it's hard to replace that. I don't know.
I can just dive in with the live stream overlays. I have multiple Jessica Fletcher images.
Yes,
tip of my fingers, multiple Jessica Fletcher images. I am such a fan when it comes to this woman.
Yes.
Jessica Fletcher, Angela Lansbury, she is so iconic. I love her so much. I have seen every single episode multiple times. I really love this show. It's really hard to do as I add Ben back. There we go. For some reason, I lost Ben.
I was like, where did I go?
See, this is what happens. I get so excited about Jessica Fletcher.
Totally fine.
He's back. I'm never losing him again. But some of these characters, I mean, she's so amazing. And those stories, again, when we're talking about like it's a time capsule, like it's an encapsulation of certain periods of time. It's even though Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome. I'm sorry, Angela Lansbury. She's the goddess divine.
It's like trying to redo like Golden Girls with different characters. Like they're so iconic in their own characters.
I got another reference for you. Right in my fingers.
Well, those are my wheelhouses. Golden Girls and Murder, She Wrote, and it's like I can't see anyone else as them. At least for like now, maybe like 50 years from now, who knows? But
I mean, yes. The original Scream Queen. Maybe they're going darker, but again,
Jessica Fletcher, dark, like gritty, like I don't know.
She's meant to be fun and campy, and she has that
cozy
moral compass.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I just saw. So you're currently watching Golden Girls. So one of the things with the email newsletter that I've tried to incorporate is I've been calling it Angela's Corner, just to give you guys a little idea. Like, this is what I'm reading, this is what I'm watching. And so one month I was like, are they gonna? I'm rewatching Golden Girls, so I put that in there. That was in my little Angela's Corner like a month or two ago because I was rewatching that show. It's just I love it.
Every night before bed I watch it, so it's.
Thank you. This is why we get along so well. Same wavelength. But I know you guys are commenting. I know that comment was pulled up about Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm not really sure where it started, but yeah, I don't know if it's gonna go through. They actually tried before with, I want to say, Octavia Butler. She won the Oscar for The Help. This woman is so stinking adorable. I mean, she is so talented. And if you ever watch her in interviews, she's so engaging and she's so great. And even though I adore her, I don't want her to take over the role. And she didn't. And the same is kind of true with Jamie Lee Curtis. So I don't know.
I feel like there's so many like adaptations they could do with cozies. Like they could pull someone if they really want to do like a older sleuth. You know, they could do something different. Like they don't have to do
Or
murder she wrote.
or they could just be original and do a different mystery.
It's true. That's true. That's true.
Maybe Jamie Lee Curtis could be the star of a different mystery series.
Exactly. They don't have to reboot it. Like,
Thank you for knowing it was Octavia Spencer.
Oh.
I knew the first name was Octavia.
Octavia Butler is a sci-fi author. Yeah.
I was getting the name. I have these moments where I'm like, okay, there's so many different pop culture references in the head. It's like Gilmore Girls, but sometimes you're like, the caffeine kick, it didn't kick in right yet.
Fishing. Yeah.
Stop with the remakes.
Exactly.
But I mean, there could be other, books and mysteries that deserve shots for, I don't know, Hallmark or Peacock or whatever they want to do.
There's so many. Like I'm like, take a selection from what we read in the past, like almost 10 years, right? Like
maybe a relative of the sleuther. Even then, that would be. Remember, oh my gosh, her cousin in England. Why am I blanking on the name? It was
Emily?
Gosh,
yeah.
Was her cousin Emily, who's the singer of the stage theater?
When it's Emma or Emily, yeah.
Emma, that's what it is. Thank you. She goes to England and she's playing the two roles, the dual roles.
I love it.
Maybe it's a descendant of Emma. See, we just came up with the premise. See, someone send this to Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's like Matlock. You know, it wasn't the main character. It was a made up name for it. So it's like, come on, we can reboot, get a little different. Like,
I mean, would you guys want to see this as a potential TV series, movie of the week? I mean, Hallmark, it was Hallmark Mysteries. Now it's Hallmark Cozy. Maybe they'll change the name again, but right now it's Hallmark Cozy. So maybe they'll do something with something cozy.
I've been reading my way through Domestic Diva series, and I'm like, this would be perfect. Every single like book, I'm like, this is perfect. Like, come on, there's so many good cozies that could be made into a TV show.
I mean, if they need recommendations, I could give them out. I'm sure you guys could too. I'm sure you guys have cozy mysteries. You're going, okay. I mean, even the Cleo Coyle Coffee House mystery series, I keep waiting for that one to get some sort of TV rights deal announcement. I'm waiting for that one. I know Tanya Kaipa is it's in development. So they're always, I don't want to sound negative. Fingers crossed for her. But when it says in development, they're always unaired pilots or unaired things. So when it says in development, I'm going, we're close, but we're not there yet.
Maybe.
It's
another hurdle. Another hurdle has to jump through. Yeah.
Like we're loading. Is the like once you have a premiere date, like yes, we're good. But okay, people are agreeing with us. Grace is saying
yes. I need to see Nina. I need to see her being terrible. Like it needs to happen. Like, yeah.
Thank you so much. Because I appreciate that. Thank you. I remember one time there was someone at Hallmark who reached out to me I promoted things for Hallmark, just for free, or I just love Hallmark in general. But one of their people was like, can you please post this call for submissions? Because they wanted people to submit their cozy mysteries for potential things. I'm going, yes, I can share this for you. Please do that call to action again. We can get some different things, different blood. They did the Murder in G Major, but they're not doing the second one. So maybe you guys can do something else instead. What was it? The Library Lovers Mystery Series, Jen McKinley. That's been going on for a long, long time. Book series. So many fun ones. And as I'm doing that, I'm going, okay, so we have, let's go back into, I'm like, where are all my little overlays? So, and I don't want to lose Ben because I'm switching things over. So we have read some really great books this year. So, Vinyl Resting Place, Coffee Combo, that was great. They have the Newport Gilded series with Hallmark. So, A Lady's Guide to Etiquette Murder. I think they're on book 8 or 9 in that series. So many to choose from.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
By Book or by Crook with The Lighthouse. That would be so visually appealing. They did the Martha's Vineyard one where they had the nice ocean views. So, that would lend itself beautifully. So, there's so many fun ones.
You can get like a modern one, like with Mimi Lee Gets a Clue. You can do like a modern with a pet, we need like a really good pet cozy mystery.
Oh, I mean, we have Mimi Lee, which has the telepathic cat, which I love. Now we have Alpaca Farms. Next month we have the Farm Life, and I know we have 4 parts, 4 parts sugar or 2 parts sugar, 1 part murder. There's supposed to be a Great Dane in that one. I mean, there are a lot of fun animals.
That'd be so cute.
So we have more fun coming up. And I'm just saying, even from our TBR alone, there are plenty of titles to choose from. As I'm going, I get this. I get to do this. I'm hitting something very important right now. Ta-da!
Oh, there's a check mark.
Look at how far we have come. I am so proud of us. I mean, seriously, I cannot believe. So December, it's a buddy read because there's a certain holiday event with 12 days of cozies, December 1st through December 12th. And because of the holiday season, we do not do a live stream. So there are only technically 4 more live streams for 2025. What? Time is flying.
You're gone. Oh my gosh.
I mean, that is incredible. But I also love this visual. I spend so much time making these visuals for you guys. Like I really do. So the color coordination with the book covers and the check marks. So I mean, it's very visually appealing, but it also breaks my heart a little. I'm going, oh, we've come so far. We don't have. Oh, there's not much left. But that actually reminds me. So this is actually leading into one of my notes. And I love how this is why I love Ben so much. I don't end up looking at my notes. You're just so easy to chat with. I don't end up looking down and things flow so organically. So I posted about this on my Instagram, on the book club's Instagram. I mentioned it in at least 1 or 2 of the email newsletters. Please start submitting your recommendations for 2026 titles. I'm going to put up, so you can comment anywhere publicly. If you don't want to come on publicly, you can message me privately. And I'm also going to put up my email in a second. So there are a couple of requirements, and I always mention them. And I always get recommendations that I have to double check, and turns out, wait a second, it's not available like this or whatever. So some of the requirements: it is not a book we have already read. So if you want to see the entire list of previous titles, they're on the website. So thecozymysterybookclub.com. So there's an entire list of all the books that we've read. So it's no repeats. It has to be available across platforms. So not just an Amazon exclusive or Barnes & Noble exclusive. And while I talk, I might as well show you guys one of my other visuals with the yarn, just because it's yarn and it's fun as I describe stuff. So it has to be available. So it's not just Amazon. It can be Barnes & Noble and things of that nature. And it also has to be available as a paperback, ebook, and audiobook. So there are a couple things to keep in mind when recommending titles. And I always end up getting one question that is always one of my favorites. Yes, it has to be a cozy mystery. That I've gotten that question more than I should have. So yes, the Cozy Mystery Book Club only reads cozy mysteries. So all of the books every year are submitted by you guys. You vote on them. And I did this last year, and I'll do it again with a Google form. So I'll leave it up for at least a month so you guys can vote at your leisure, and it can share the link across platforms. So hopefully, regardless of the algorithm, it comes across. You get it somehow. This is also why I say, please check the email newsletter, because that has everything first and foremost. I'll share it there. So if Instagram is acting up for some whatever reason and you missed the link there, it's still going to be available. So I just saw the comment. What? The Cozy Mystery Book Club only reads cozy mystery? Yes. I get that question.
Shocker.
I get that question far more than I should. I mean, I get authors who say, can I recommend my own book? I always kind of go, not cringe. I don't really cringe when I'm always going, I want book club members first and foremost.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's an author who participates, of course. I mean, also you can recommend it, but it also has to meet those requirements. So when I get a book that's not available as an audio, one we've already read, I'm going, I love your recommendation, but I can't really make it a list. So please keep that in mind. I will double check, but I am working on that list. So if there's a cozy mystery you love, you really want to read with the book club, that's a 5-star book. Just, I love these comments. You guys are great. There are fun things that go on behind the scenes. I don't tell you guys, but I mean, if there's ever a blooper vlog or something, or I have more time, I mean, it would be entertaining. But please start recommending titles, because I would love to have the Google form organized and ready to go, and then leave it live for at least a month. So, I mean, if I want to have this organized for September, October, please start getting your recommendations in. I love that you guys are naming all the different genres. I thought we were on fiction here. And then I mean, yes. So Eliza Luce, aka Tori, she writes romances. So unfortunately, we're not going to be reading romances. We can have cozy mysteries with romances, but not essential. So if there are titles that you guys have on your TBR, you read this book, it was 5 stars, and you think every other reader in the world should read it too, send me those titles. I'm going to put up my information again. I will say, I know it's still here. I'm going to include an updated visual, but I'm not checking. I've been slowly moving away from the Twitter/X. So everything that's been posted there is also shared to the Threads account. So I use Hootsuite because, again, I do a lot for you guys and it's really hard to manage everything all the time. So I plan in advance. I have a full-on planner just for social media stuff for you guys to make sure I get everything out there in a timely fashion. So if there's a post that goes on Twitter, it's also going to Threads. So I do duplicates. So I'm not actively posting to the Twitter or checking the Twitter. So please DM the Instagram. You can send me an email. I mean, any of the other platforms. I'm just letting you guys know that I've been slowly transitioning away from that. So I'm not actively on there, but you can message me anywhere else. I mean, whatever is easiest for you, but I really want to hear your recommendations. And then I can start working on organizing them to themes because every month has to have a theme, whether it's the animals or the baking. So I get to go to work and do some cozy research and some cozy organization for you guys. I'm seeing the comments. If these were real, if cozy mysteries are real, they would have highly suspicious body counts. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoy the Cozy Mystery Book Club. That means so much to me. I see cozy. Okay, the cozy thriller comment. If it's a cozy mystery, first and foremost, as long as it's a cozy mystery, we're fine. Secondary storylines, if it's a romance, if it's got some some other mystery elements, there is a difference between thrillers and mysteries. I actually have a YouTube short discussing that. So I was very proud of myself that I finally did that. So as long as it's a cozy mystery first and foremost. And yes, I'm always curious about these towns. So I was watching, oh my gosh, I know it was Death in Paradise and then Midsummer Murders. These little English towns, they are tiny. They're so so Death in Paradise is the Caribbean island, like that's fictional. But I mean, these are small places. The amount of people who die there, why are you still living on these locations? I would move
get out, go somewhere safe, you know.
I mean, as much as I love Jessica Fletcher, I would not want to live in Cabot Cove. I love Cabot Cove. I plan on visiting Mendocino, California at some point. That is a goal of mine in my life. I want to go stay at the Cabot Cove house, the Blair house.
Yes.
That's something I must do. But would I actually want to live there? No.
I would not follow Jessica around at all. Like people are dropping around her, so no.
I'm just saying. Cabot Cove population 3,560
and dropping.
I actually have a screenshot. Again, I've seen this show so many times because they'll show you the population, and I've actually have this weird little science experiment where I'm trying to figure out, like, do they update it from season to season? So that's actually something I've been working on.
Well, we lost 10 people, so we gotta mark it down.
I mean, granted, Amos Tupper, they lost a lot of people on his watch, but still love him. Just wanted to be the sheriff of my town.
Yeah.
Oh, true. It's midsummer, the region. So it is a region in England, but I mean, still. If you want to say the county or whatever, like there's still a lot of people who die. And that show does not scrimp when it comes to the body count. There will be episodes that have 5 people who have been murdered. Just saying. So they do not hold back when it comes to the body count on that show. So it's also not a cozy mystery. I'm going to do a total spoiler alert for you guys. It's a great show if you want to go watch it, but it is technically, because it's not an amateur sleuther. So that's issue number 1. Issue number 2, animals are not safe. There is an episode where an animal gets shot and I'm still not over it.
Oh my gosh. No. Okay.
I'm not over it.
Thank you for letting me know.
11 seasons in, it's only happened in 1 episode, but it was enough to traumatize me. Yeah. So just saying, it's not a cozy mystery. Thank you so much for joining. I know I didn't realize what time it was. So if there is something else you guys want to talk about, now is the time. I mean, someone was killed by a wheel of cheese. True. You remembered the episode. Thank
The
you. So
fox?
Camel, the exact episode I was talking about, it was a fox. So, but at the very end, the fox had little fox baby. So the fox wife, the fox mommy, and the fox little, the little ones joined the man in his journey. But still, I was devastated, and I'm not over that. And I know it had Superman in it. Henry Cavill, he was one of the characters. He's a future murder victim in that episode. Fun fact. But one of his friends kills a fox. So I don't care that he's Superman. His friend killed a fox.
That's who you associate with.
Yep. Your fictional character friend who killed a fox. Just saying. Okay, so some people love the show. Some people are like, okay, now I'll skip it. But it was only one episode, but it was enough to traumatize me. And also enough to say, like, if you were someone who loves cozy mysteries, like you don't want any of the bad things to happen, it'll break your little mystery loving heart. Oh, foxes are cute. I love foxes though. They're adorable. They really are. I mean, yes, I would never, meet one in the wild, but still.
Yeah. They're adorable.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about? Whether it's Murder, She Wrote, or A Wicked Yarn, or future TBR title? Like,
I just talk about? I can't believe it's already time to nominate new books. Like, I feel like this year's flying by. I'm like, we just voted, Angela. What are you talking about?
I know. I was going back. So again, I adore this man. I really do. So he's the permanent January guest host, and January is our returning titles month. So one of the fun things is that if a title almost win, and we have some really close votes, there have been multiple times I've had to leave the polls live because we've had ties. And I'm not just talking like, oh, 11% here, 11%. I'm talking like it's down to the decimal point. Like, I mean, these have been real ties. And so January is always the comeback title month. So he always gets the first book, the first month, and a title that you guys are like, we really want to read this, but this is the month where it's finally going to be the winning title. So this year it was Vinyl Resting Place, because I'm pretty sure 2 years in a row, it lost by like 1 point here and 2 points there. I'm like, okay, it's coming back in a future poll. So he's going to get the January poll, which is always going to be a returning title. So if there was a book that was in the poll last time, or one of the previous voting that you really wanted and it didn't win, chances are it come back again. So fingers crossed for you.
It's a great way to start the year. So I always love it. So
thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the Cozy Mystery Book Club. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. That makes me so happy. It's so much fun to see people join and find the book club. I mean, whether you got, even if someone's just at home watching and not commenting, like, you are welcome to participate in whatever way makes you happy. But I'm so glad you found the book club and you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And I'm going to pull up his information again. So this lovely man, I officially am following him on TikTok as well. So he has his TikTok, his Instagram. He is so fabulous with the cozy mysteries, and he also happens to be a librarian. So he's going to be going back to school soon. I need to know what you're going to be reading with kids. Hopefully you'll have some things to share, what books they did for summer reading, what books they're going to be doing in the fall. So maybe some bookish content will be coming our way from this lovely man.
Yeah, I think my TikToks are mostly just what I read the week for story time, which is always fun just to go over what we read. So
it's so sweet. And then I cannot believe I'm saying this, because we have this check mark. So that means next month it is a killer jam. So I haven't read this book. I had to look it up because apparently this is a very long ongoing series. So if you guys like book one, there are going to be plenty of things for you to go read later on. So I'm really hoping you guys enjoy this book. I'm hoping with all the books in this series, like, you can fall into a new love. You can go, I really love this place. I'm going to keep returning to it. But I mean, I also need to go find all the images showcasing jams. So those things. So please mark your calendars for Killer Jam for next month's title. And I have all of the information. I'll be sending it all again in the email newsletter. And I always post things across platforms. So hopefully you guys stay in the know. So again, if you ever have any questions, though, please feel free to reach out. You accidentally read Killer Jam already and loved it. Well, I'm glad you loved it. And hopefully you'll remember enough of it for next month. Although, again, sometimes when it comes to books, I reread them a lot. So for this one in particular, I listened to the audio twice and I read it. So even if you've read a book, feel free to read it again. And you'll pick up on more clues and you'll understand. This might be the comment to end the night on. Gotham City is safer than Cabot Cove. Marta for the mic drop.
It is.
Well, at least they have Batman to protect them. They have Amos Tupper. I am sorry, but he's not going to protect you. Batman at least has the Batmobile. What does Ames Tupper have?
Deputy sheriff is what he has. he has Angela solving the murders is what he has.
I mean, in all fairness, there was that one episode where he wanted to solve it on his own, and the townspeople are going, "You can't leave it to Amos. Everyone knows you're the brains of this operation." So
I love it. The faith they have is not there.
Angela Lansbury. So maybe we'll have to do something Murder, She Wrote related at some point. There's so much Murder, She Wrote content that we could possibly have fun with. I mean, Amos. Oh my gosh, you guys are cute. Batman versus Bateman. And I love the comments you guys post. I don't always see all the comments as they're shared throughout the night. So when I go to convert the giveaway entries, I love reading your comments. So if I didn't share it tonight, please don't think I'm not going to read it. I will be reading them later. And each and every comment is just, it makes me so happy. So thank you for participating and being a part of the book club. And I know I've shared this on the platforms, but if you have posted a photo of the book, send me your mailing address because I will send you a bookmark as a thank you, because I love seeing you guys participate and I want to do whatever I can to let you know how much I appreciate you. So please, if you did share a photo, send me the link and I'll also share it. That's the other thing too. I will share it to the stories or the main feed or something else so you guys get the shout out you deserve with the coziness. So I wanted to make sure, because I know we have a couple new people that you know about some of the things I do on the side. So if you took a photo or you participated, let me know and I'll send you the bookmark. I got you guys covered. Is there anything else you want to add before we say goodnight for the evening?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything. My notes had Jenny. What? I just keep on looking at that.
I also love, so I think I listened to it as audio first. So Lia is Lia. So some of these names, even Haley with the Hay, I have to keep track of that because Lia, I always thought it was spelled Leah.
Yeah. That's how I spell it. Yeah.
I mean, the audio would have totally tripped you up if you didn't know that. So
I would have been like, who? Who's that?
Ginny with the G, like Ginny from Harry Potter, not
Jenny.
Like
not Jenny, yeah.
Same. So we are not alone in that.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yes, thank you. Ginny versus Jenny. I always think of Jenny from Forrest Gump, like Jenny, the way he says it.
Yeah, but,
Jenny. I didn't solve the mystery. You didn't solve the mystery, but we still love the cozy mystery.
We're here. That's what matters.
Thank you guys so much for joining. And again, if you think of a book title, please feel free to reach out. If you have any questions, feel free to email, DM. I posted Ben's information. It's linked down below in the description box. So please feel free to follow him. I highly recommend it. I have all of my accounts, the book club accounts down there as well. And I don't believe I actually introduced myself at the beginning, but I'm Angela, and I love that you guys joined the Cozy Mystery Book Club tonight. And a huge thank you and shout out to Ben for being the awesome human being that he is. I really do adore him. And so I'm already looking forward to the January book where I get to talk to you again live.
I'm so excited.
I get to look forward to something. But thank you, Ben. Thank you guys for joining. Please stay safe, kind, and creative. And as always, happy reading, writing, and sleuthing. Have a nice night, everyone.
Night.